Here today speaking with Kenneth Blue. Mr. Blue has over 40 years of experience in the mortgage banking business, and we're going to be discussing reverse mortgages. So Ken, what is the first question that people ask when they're considering a reverse mortgage?
Well, I think borrowers on a reverse mortgage are the same as any other borrower in a mortgage. They want to know how much money they're going to get. And probably their second question is, how quickly can I get it? That's really not the question. Those are two important questions, obviously. That's why they're flying for a mortgage. But the real important question in the long run is how is the best way to take my proceeds of the loan.
So let's look at a typical senior family. What happens when they first apply for a reverse mortgage?
Okay. Well, the first thing a lender does is when they review the applicant's information is they want to know what the house is worth. That's done by an appraisal. They want to know what the balance on the mortgage on the house, and that is done by verification through the mortgage holder. Then they do a calculation to determine how much proceeds will be available after you subtract the closing costs and after you subtract the loan that's being paid off. Depending upon how much money is available after you go through that process, then determines which way is the best way to take your money.
Okay, so if after the closing is done, let's say there is not enough money to pay off their mortgage, what happens?
Well, FHA has changed their regulations recently, actually within the last 12 months, and they've made the process a little more difficult, and they've reduced the percentage of money that you can receive. So if a person, after they do the calculations, determines that they don't have enough money, they have a choice of three things. One is just cancel the application. The other is if there's enough money available from the family to bring it to the closing to supplement the money they get from their mortgage that they can close. And a lot of people say, well, that doesn't make much sense because I wanted to get out from under a mortgage payment. Now I'm borrowing money from family. But if you look at it this way, if you have to borrow enough money, which is the equivalent of, say, a year's monthly payments on your mortgage, at the end of a year, you're where you want to be, free of mortgage payments. Now, if a person has a lot of money left over, or a substantial amount of money, that's where the real question comes in. Because there's a number of ways that you can take your money. You can take it a lump sum, which means you take it all at once. You can take a monthly supplement, which is we deposit it in your bank account just like a Social Security check as the funds are deposited. Or you can leave it with the lender, with us or whoever a lender may be, and draw the money down when you need it. There's some distinct advantages to leaving the money with the lender, because we all all lenders work under the same rules that are issued by FHA. But when you leave the money with the lender, it grows between 4 and 6%. So let's just say, arbitrarily say, at the end of closing, you've paid off the existing mortgage, you've paid off the closing costs, you have $100,000 left to be dispersed. If you leave it with the lender and the note is between a 4 and 6%, let's say 6% growth, you then have $106,000 available. The best way to do it is to take a combination. You first pay off your existing mortgage, you pay your closing costs, you take whatever money you need in the very beginning. Say you wanted to fix the roof, you want to modernize the kitchen. All lenders advise people don't use the money for things like taking vacations. It sounds very nice, but this is the only money you're going to get out of your home. And if you use it on frivolous items or non-essential items, you'll find out you'll run out of money long before you run out of a house to live in.
So, is there anything else people have to keep in mind as far as the lenders?
Yes, there's a big item. Once money is dispersed on a reverse mortgage, lenders start accruing interest. Now that's not interest that you're going to pay like in a regular forward mortgage where every month you pay a month's interest. However, that interest accumulates over the years, and when the last qualifying senior who lives in the house passes away, the property goes to whomever they designate in their will. A lot of people think it goes to the federal government or to the lender, but which is not true. First of all, lenders have enough real estate they have to get rid of anyway. They don't want more real estate, and the federal government certainly doesn't want it. So most people designate their children, living children, to receive the title of the property equally, and they have 1 year in which to pay the loan off. So there are no monthly payments for the seniors while they're living in the house, but interest is accruing every day. So the less money you borrow, the less interest accrues to be paid off by the heirs when the last qualifying senior passes away. And then also on the other end, what money you don't take grows. So the big advantage is to take the least amount of money that you need. And of course the social aspect of it is that when you do need money, if you've left it in there, that it's there. And one more point that I think is very important is a lot of people think that the lender, if they go out of business, the borrower, the senior, has lost their money. When you close a reverse mortgage, you sign 2 notes and you sign 2 mortgages. The first one runs to the lender, and the second one runs to FHA, the federal government, Federal Housing Administration. The reason for that is if for any reason the mortgage lender goes out of business, FHA steps in and continues to meet the obligations as they are at the time the company goes under. So that takes away all that fear of maybe I ought to take all my money right now, because if the company goes out of business, I've got a mortgage on my house, but I don't have the availability of the money. So in recapping, money left over after closing, after you paid the closing costs, after you've paid off an existing mortgage, take whatever money you need right up front to fix the house up, do whatever you want. A lot of people living in homes that have been around 40, 50, 60 years that need updating. Figure out how much you would like to supplement your pension and Social Security. Let's say $300 a month, $500 a month, $800 a month. And that can be changed at any time. If you suddenly decide you don't want any more, you won the lottery, so you don't need the monthly supplement, you can change it. That's the story.
Thank you so much, Ken.
It's my pleasure.
It was a great pleasure
Thank you.
speaking with you.
Thank you.